to Tig's Bits. My good friend, Mr. David Ware, coming back on once again. This is starting to become a recurring thing that the people have spoken. They seem to like you. So welcome back to the show, David. I think we need to have, based off of the social media presence, you can follow us. You can follow the show at Tig's Bits on TikTok. Seems to be getting a lot of attention. You can follow the Tig's Bits podcast on Instagram, and of course it's on Facebook as well. But man alive, since you and I last spoke, the last time we did a podcast, a lot has changed. And man, there are definitely some heated arguments going on some of our social media feeds of some of the videos that I've put out from our last podcast that we did. But I think we need to have an update on the LIV golf situation and the PGA Tour, because hey, things have definitely changed since then. You are our resident expert with golf, so bring us up to speed. What's going on with LIV? What's the direction that it's going in? Where's it at right now?
Well, a lot has happened. What a wild few months it has been. Where we last left off, we had some players defecting to LIV. Dustin Johnson at that time had defected. Since then, a lot more has happened. A lot more defections, Brooks Koepka, and a few others. So basically where we are with LIV is a lot of players have left. All of those players sort of fit the model of probably past their prime, probably not going to contend for majors. This is kind of a general statement. I guess the way I would phrase it would be, for the most part, the players that have gone to LIV probably have less championship level golf ahead of them in their careers than behind them. However, everything changed a couple of weeks ago when the champion golfer of the year, Cam Smith of Australia, who won the British Open at the Golf in Scotland at St Andrews, he won the Open Championship, and he is going to LIV. And he hasn't officially announced yet because this week is the final week of the PGA Tour regular season. But next week, he is going. That is the rumor.
Wow.
He got paid about $100 million. So when that news broke a couple of weeks ago, it really did change the dynamic of, it's mostly players who are mostly toward the third, fourth quarter of their careers, to a guy who is on the up and come. He's up and coming. He just won his first major. He very well, may win more. So that changed things. Now you have a elite, currently elite top 5 player in the world make the jump. So what that did was really sent shockwaves through the PGA Tour players, and really the light bulb sort of went off. And the top-notch, pro PGA Tour guys like Justin Thomas, those guys said, you know what? Okay, this is different. And now you have guys that are currently going to compete for majors this year, next year, in the next few years. We can't have that happen. So last week in Delaware, right before the second round of the playoffs, Tiger Woods got on his jet and flew from South Florida to Wilmington and called a players-only meeting. No PGA Tour reps, no agents, no tour officials, just players only. Players only. Like Bruno Mars says, players only. So Tiger, and there were 22 players in the room. Tiger Woods, Scotty Scheffler, we won't go through the list, but Justin Thomas, Sam Burns. That's big that he was in the room.
Yeah.
22 players got in a room and said, okay, this is big. This is war. We've got to do something. I think it's becoming clear that LIV does not want to just join the quote ecosystem. They want to destroy the PGA Tour. And that's how the PGA Tour players are looking at it. They want the PGA Tour to die. And it's a hostile takeover. It's not, we're here to compete. It's not, oh, this is another option. You can come play our tour. No, they want to kill the PGA Tour. So Tiger Woods and those guys got together and said, all right, we have to band together. And that's what they did. They came up with an agreement, which they submitted the next day to the PGA Tour commissioner, saying that the top players agree we have to come together and do something. Well, what is that? What that is we need to come up with some dates on the schedule, and we all need to show up. And we need to have these mega fields 15 times a year for PGA Tour events. And we all need to agree to like show up at those events and play together. So you have the top players in the world all showing up, and when it's going to be. So they're sort of stratifying the PGA Tour into like these like elite level events, and then kind of like your regular PGA Tour events. But I think what they're going to do is change like which dates it is. So one year the Zurich in New Orleans might be one of those, and then you're going to have, instead of 8 out of the top 20 in the world, you're going to have 18 or 16 out of the top 20 in the world. So it was a great move. This is the first time the PGA Tour players are really getting together and forming sort of a counterattack, and they're not going to just let the status quo or let things quote play out. They realize we've got to take action here. We've got to do something, and that's what they're doing. I mean, Tiger Woods flew up. He called the meeting, and he was the alpha in the room, according to Rory McIlroy, who said, when Tiger's in the room, he's the alpha. I'm not the alpha. So yeah, it's pretty impressive that Tiger is, and from hearing some of the player reports, Tiger's very passionate about this, and his mission is to not only save the tour, but to make it better and stronger. And, the perspective I come from is from the fan standpoint. I mean, I'm a golf fan, and I want entertainment. I want must-watch TV, appointment viewing on the weekends. And, man, this is it. If those guys show up 15 times a year, including the majors. So, I mean, so you're going to have some weak events and some strong events, but that's better than just a bunch of mediocre events. And so this is absolutely the right move. The players have got the message. When Cam Smith broke to LIV, I think the light bulb went off, and it's on now. And I think the PGA Tour is taking the right steps. So the player, it's really, the PGA Tour is going to do what the players kind of say, right? Because the players are the tour, and that's the stars. That's why people tune in. People aren't tuning in to watch Andrew Putnam and Andrew Svoboda play. They want to see Scotty Scheffler and all those guys, and that's what they're going to get. And this is great.
Well, I can tell you, man, I've given LIV a little bit of an opportunity. Tried to watch it on YouTube. Dude, I mean, it's boring. I don't. Yeah. It's a glorified exhibition, is all it is. Yeah. It's like me and you going to go play a little 4-ball or whatever, a scramble. It's what is supposed to be compelling about that? They have team names. Weird team names, like I'm going to remember the Dragons or whoever the hell they are. What I don't care. I don't care. Yeah. I just don't see how that is ever going to catch on and grab the attention of young people, grab the attention of somebody like me and you. We're used to a traditional golf tournament that we're going to watch for 4 days. And then it finishes on a Sunday afternoon somewhere. You have leaders. You have that kind of drama to play out. I don't think you're going to get that kind of drama anymore with LIV. But those guys are getting paid. They're making a hell of a lot of money. But
it's an exhibition, like you said, and watching a bunch of guys play for a bunch of money. but there's no trophy at the end of it. There's no glory. There's no history. There's, you don't win a major. You're not remembered. It's just them. They're playing for money, which is fine. But one of the interesting things in that meeting, Max Homa was one of the players, and he was on an interview recently, and they were asking him about, taking the money to go to LIV. And his response was, my dreams are not for sale. And he's like, when I grew up and I practiced, I dreamed of, putting on a green jacket or winning the Claret Jug or winning the US Open. Those are my dreams, and you can't buy my dreams. And, some people, I guess things are for sale and everybody might have their number, but that's really the difference is, do you want to watch a bunch of guys just play for some money and then there's nothing really to show for it? Or do you want to play for and be a part of history and have, a legacy? And that's the dynamic. And I think we're definitely, things are finally turning in the right direction, I feel like.
I don't understand their deal. I wanted to give them a chance. I really did. I wanted to, but I don't know if I will watch any more of their events unless there's something at stake. There's nothing at stake. Nothing. So what's the point? I have no reason to tune in. I want to see somebody win a trophy. I want somebody to be on their heels, tit for tat, the whole 72 holes, rocking and rolling, and then it come down to the 18th green. Yeah. That determines the winner. That's what I want. That's drama. Yeah. That's dramatic. That's the way it's supposed to be. You're not going to get that in LIV. So no, you're not. LIV is dead to me. They're dead to me. Yeah. I don't care about it. I just don't. But I do love the fact that Tiger Woods is stepping in as kind of the elder statesman of the tour, as well he should be. He is. He freaking is. Let's just be honest. We're not spring chickens anymore. Neither is Tiger Woods. He needs to be that person. He needs to be the Arnold Palmer of the tour. He needs to be the Jack of the tour. That's what he is. And I think that's what you're going to continue to see out of him. It's also, I find it interesting, and we'll see how this plays out. They just announced this week the PGA Tour 2K23, the video game, is coming out. Tiger Woods is on the cover of a video game again, which is awesome. It's great to see. I've played other versions of that game. It's awesome. It's going to be awesome. With that said, EA Sports is getting back into the golf game as well. They're coming out with a golf game. I don't know when, but I suspect it will be next fall. It could be even a little earlier. I don't know. I have a feeling that EA Sports is going to have the LIV game. They're going to be. I haven't heard anybody confirm this or talk about it, but why not? Why wouldn't you have LIV golf versus PGA Tour golf?
Mm-hmm. That's interesting for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that is something that could be the direction that it goes in, which would, totally interesting. That may be a little bit of wishful thinking also that's what happens, but
that would be kind of sick if you could play PGA Tour guys against LIV guys, or if they did that in real life. That would be sick. If the PGA Tour had a team on LIV and they would smoke them, that would be cool. But
yeah, for sure. So it's interesting. What we'll just have to see what happens. Who knows what's going to happen with everything?
Right.
It's a mess, but I do believe that it's starting to look a little bit better for the PGA.
I think so. And like I said, from the fan standpoint, what happened with that meeting and what's going to come out of it is we finally got some good news. Instead of golf becoming more fractured and more watered down and, oh man, now who cares about any of it? Well, now we have a framework that they're going to build upon, and it's probably going to benefit each tour stop, and because they're going to probably alternate it. So the fan standpoint, which is where I'm coming from, we finally got some good news, and it was really good news.
To be continued. I've got a feeling this is going to be a recurring conversation that we have when we get on and do these things, because I mean, it's not done. There will be other defectors, you know.
Oh yeah, sure.
But it is good to see that they're starting to form a game plan, because it was kind of, they were attacked a little bit. And not a little bit, they were completely attacked, a little bit blindsided, I do believe, by some of these that left. So it's good to see that they're getting their act together. There's way too much money at stake. And the PGA Tour is prestigious. It has its history, as you've said. The LIV doesn't have that, nor do I think they're ever going to have that. I just don't believe that they will.